What's good, y'all? Back again, another day. And today what I want to talk about, man, is a very personal subject to me. I want to talk about marriage and if you should get married, what marriage life is like. Because marriage obviously isn't for everybody. And to be completely honest, for the longest time, I did not think that I would get married. I was just content with, just living my life, working, and having women in and out my life as it fit me. And then when they no longer fit my purpose or they got on my nerves or whatever the case may be, I just get rid of them. No harm, no foul, or, I just not give them any attention and focus on business, work, whatever the case may be. And just it was whatever. I was just done, man. I was done. I was tired of the runaround. I was tired of playing the games, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do me. I'm focusing on me. I'm my own mental point of origin. And at the time I was listening to a lot of red pill content, Kevin Samuels, but I got really, really, really deep in the red pill. And so people that were talking about divorce and people that were talking about, just female nature and, all that stuff, going down that road. And so I was like, as they come, I'll deal with them. I'm not devoting too much time on focusing on whatever, I make sure I provide good experiences while they're in my life, and then once they're out, it's whatever, But then I met my wife, who obviously at the time wasn't my wife. And, in the beginning, when we first met, it wasn't like sparks flew, and I just knew that this was going to be the one. It happened over time, the more time that we spent together. And over time, it was like a week. First week I knew, like, okay, yeah. Like, it didn't take long at all, once I started to kick it with her and spend time with her. And, the biggest things that it was for me is that she was a very caring and compassionate person. Like, she was very genuine, authentic, Obviously, when you first meet somebody, you expect them to have their guard up and you play the games and the whole nine. But, we didn't really... we had that period. Obviously, she was guarded because she didn't know what my intentions were, what I had going on. And, I had a lot going on. But, she was very, very, very nurturing. And that was the biggest thing for me, just her nurturing spirit. It wasn't, I don't know, I can't really explain it other than it was a very genuine, nurturing spirit. She was always coming over, cooking, or she just cleaning, or if I needed something, she'd get it without me asking. Just little things like that. So I was like, all right, we might be able to build something. And then after a couple months, I brought her around Koi. And, that was huge for me because I've had girlfriends after, me and my child's mom. And none of them have ever met Koi before. I've had women come to the crib and he was asleep, but it's never been a point where Koi has seen me with women on that level whatsoever, no matter what the case was. I never brought anybody around Koi. That was just sacred territory for me. But with her, because she was so nurturing, I was like, well, let's see what happens. I brought her around Koi. Koi loved her, and she was very nurturing and caring toward Koi as well. And, at the time, what I didn't know, she wasn't even interested in anybody with kids. So, just the time and energy that she devoted to Koi the first time that we hung out, I was like, you know what? She is really racking up points. And so, at the time, I was rooming with my homeboy because I had a crazy situation with my cousin. And, maybe I'll talk about that one day, just depending on other people and keeping your options limited and just, life stuff. But anyway, whatever the case may be, I was rooming with my homeboy, Frog, and he went to Atlanta to handle some business for like the whole summer. And so at the time when me and my wife were just kind of talking casually, she would come over, but I was like, well, why don't you just come stay over here? So, it was a real crazy situation. So my homeboy moved to Atlanta. I moved Koi into his room for the time being. I moved her into my room. And, we had a whole little family vibe going on. And I really appreciated that. And, I remember riding in the car with my friend, Kalen. Shout out to Kalen, my frat brother. And I remember telling him, like, yo, unless anything crazy happens, I'm going to marry this woman, man. Like, I really see a lot in her that I could build and grow with, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, eventually that's what happened. And then we had a mirror and things started growing. And that's like the super duper duper condensed version. But, you know, the biggest thing that you want to look for in a woman is, and again, I really, really, really try to shy away from dating advice, but people ask me, you know, how did I know? For me, it was somebody that was caring and compassionate, someone that always looked out for me no matter what the circumstances were. Like I said, when we met, my situation was janky. Like, granted, you know, I had a place to live, I had a pretty decent job, you know, but I'm just coming off like top two worst years ever, 2020 and 2017. Horrible years for me, but you know, those are separate episodes for separate times. If you follow me a while, then you kind of know what happened. But 2017 and 2020, horrible years for me. So, you know, as I was rebuilding 2020, she was with me, and you know, she was helping, and there were a lot of circumstances. And you know, she wasn't perfect. She was talking to other dudes before I met her, but you know, obviously I just was able to get all of them other guys out of there and just have her focus 100% on me. And you know, it worked, man. Like, but also let me say, to find a good woman and to know that a woman is quality material for you to marry, you have to be quality material man. You know, you can't just think that you're gonna find the perfect woman and you're not perfect. I mean, it does happen, but obviously those men wake up one day and they change and they realize that, you know, I got something good here. I need to make that work. So for me, to kind of sum it up, the biggest things that how I knew was that nurturing spirit, the compassion, you know, just she also had her own things going on, which I was impressed with. You know, she's a hustler and she goes out and get it on her own, but she's not like a woman boss or one of those type of women. Like, you know, I was able to put her in a position where she can focus on what she wants to, and I'll take care of all of the bills. So, you know, and then, like I said, it just breeds into that nurturing spirit. So, you know, it may be that you find a woman that has redeeming qualities, and I hate to say redeeming qualities, but a woman has 85 to 90% of what you want, and you know, the other 25 you can either, or 35 or 15, whatever the case may be, you know, you can live with, you can work together with, and things that don't really matter to you. I say, you know, those are the best options. You know, women that you can grow with and grow together with. And I don't really like saying molding women because, you know, to a certain degree, you don't want a puppet or a robot, unless you do want a puppet or a robot, you know, but you should want somebody that will be able to help you out if you get into a jam or you get into a pinch, or, you know, those type of situations and circumstances. And obviously you have homeboys that can take care of that stuff for you and knock it out. But, you know, for me, honestly, what broke me out of the red pill mindset and all of that stuff, and obviously, you know, I still understand female nature, and I still understand that my wife could find somebody better or whatever the case may be. She may decide that she wants to go somewhere else. But ultimately, you know, I want to build a structure with the family where we can impart values and morals and traditions, and, you know, a solid two-parent household to give our children a better advantage. And that, once that really started weighing on me, that's when I started thinking about marriage, you know, building family tradition and value. You know, a lot of times we lose sight of that. We get so wrapped up in, oh, women ain't this, men ain't that. We lose sight of the fact that we have to find common ground somewhere so that we can build and make sure that the next generation doesn't have to deal with the things that we deal with. Like, if it's up to me, my kids will never have to experience the types of situations and circumstances that I had to experience in 2017 and 2020, trying to figure it out and maneuver through life and get in better positions, because, you know, me and their mothers are going to be doing the groundwork and building that foundation to where, you know, that doesn't have to happen. And again, marriage isn't for everybody, man. Like, I'm not sitting up here trying to convince everybody to get married. You know, there's plenty of other channels out there that can teach you how to run and gun and just go through women. And I mean, you can check them out and you'll be very good. But, you know, eventually, if you want to build community and you want to build structure, you want to have foundation, you know, You can run around and do that with multiple women, and I've seen it happen before, but it's easier if you just have one woman. You build with her, you grow with her, you help her accomplish her goals, and you accomplish your goals. All right, holla.